Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makahakodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and thereby the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the Akim and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. This is Yah Hanan Nawaf just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And this is for educational purposes only. I'm not giving out any medical advice, no, just a story that I'm reading and, reacting to, so to speak, but I'm not giving out any information as far as what people should be doing medically or any of that stuff. So this is an article that says high rates of deaths of despair observed among white Americans. Okay, and of course we know that there's no such thing as white people. They're actually pinkish to reddish in color, and their biblical nationality is they're Edomites. They're Esau, Edom, Edomites, in the Greek, Idumeans, but they're actually Esau, Edomites. That's their biblical nationality. There's no such thing as white people. No one looks like a glass of milk, right? Now, when I was reading through some of this, it's not looking good for the so-called white race, man. And a lot of those curses that are in Deuteronomy chapter 28 are starting to kind of reverse and impact them in quite a big way. What it says, findings from the new study reveal white individuals are more likely to experience deaths of despair when compared with black and Hispanic individuals in the U.S., despite being less likely to suffer from severe psychological distress. So they're not even suffering from the distress that so-called blacks and Hispanics are, but they're deleting themselves, because they just can't, they're not built that way. They're not built to take what the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have been taking for hundreds of years from them. So when I was reading through this, to go off into the scriptures, and it talks about giving them double of what they've done, Esau not going to be able to take it. Can you imagine the so-called white man working in the field from sun up to sundown, picking cotton with that sun on their asses, being whipped, you know what I'm saying, for not making a quota of cotton that day, being all those atrocities that happen to our people, being hung, so-called black man coming into the cabin and telling his ass to get out while he sleep with his woman, all that different stuff, you know what I'm saying, just come on, bro. They wouldn't have been able to take they're not going to be able to take what they've dished out. And they can't take what they've dished out. That's why it's going to be so bad for them in the kingdom of, when the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which are Israelites, when the Lord comes, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus, which his name is Yahweh Shai, when he comes, Salakia, when he comes, it's going to be a role reversal. And that role reversal is not going to be a pretty setting for them. They're not going to be able to take any of what they've actually pushed out here. Nowhere near, man. They can't now. They lose their job, man. They come home. They delete the whole family and themselves and the dog and everybody else, man. So they're just not built that way. So this is not surprising. Let me get that back from the top again. It says findings from a new study reveal white individuals are more likely to experience deaths of despair when compared with black and Hispanic individuals in the U.S., despite being less likely to suffer from severe psychological distress. So basically, they're not going through nowhere near what the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are going through. But yet, and still, the least likely thing pushes them over the edge, man. It says this suggests that white individuals may be more vulnerable to the detrimental effects of psychological distress. Lead Arthur Hu Zhang from Ohio State University said in a statement. So this is damn Moabite sounding like that done this study. In recent years, the term deaths of despair has garnered attention and discussions about public health in the U.S., coined by economists Ann Case and Angus Deaton in 2015. It refers to the alarming trend of increasing mortality rates related to drugs, alcohol, suicide, especially among less educated white individuals. However, this new study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences expanded on what constitutes a death of despair by analyzing data from multiple sources, including the U.S. National Health Interview Survey, linked mortality file, and the Centers for Disease Control, or the CDC, and prevention multiple cause of death database. So they acquired some data. They got the data they need. It says just looking at deaths due to drugs, alcohol, and suicide underestimates the toll that despair takes on blacks and whites in the U.S., Zhang said in the statement. Psychological distress can lead to other health issues tied to mortality. It leads to stress, obesity, poor sleep, unhealthy eating habits, and other habits that contribute to cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cancer. Okay? Let me see here how they trying to... It says just looking at deaths due to drugs, alcohol, and suicide underestimates the toll that despair takes on blacks and whites in the U.S. Okay, so let's read a little further. The study, encompassing a sample size of 409,095 individuals, almost roughly 500,000 people, employed psychological distress as a metric to gauge despair. Respondents were queried on the frequency of experiencing feelings of sadness, nervousness, relentlessness, hopelessness, or the perception that everything was an effort over the preceding 30 days. Based on these responses, participants were categorized into three groups, with the highest indicating severe distress, analyzing mortality data spanning from 1997 to 2014. The researchers uncovered notable trends regarding psychological distress and its ramifications across different racial and ethnic groups in the U.S. Among the key findings was a consistent rise in the percentage of white individuals reporting moderate to severe psychological distress throughout the study period. This increase was particularly pronounced among the white individuals lacking a college degree, escalating from 12.5% to 14.9%. In contrast, the levels of psychological distress among black and Hispanic individuals exhibited very varying trends over the same time frame, and those who were white consistently demonstrating lower prevalence rates of distress compared with these groups. See? And why do they mention blacks and Hispanics together like that? Because we are Israelites, and we're all under those curses. We are, Israelites from our respective tribes. Basically what they're, by them saying black and Hispanic, what they're saying is Judah and Israel, Southern Kingdom and Northern Kingdom, the tribes of Israel, man, right? While the study couldn't definitely ascertain the reasons behind the escalating despair levels among white individuals, potential factors such as the loss of well-compensated blue-collar jobs. See, they can't take. See, Jake, we've been just working little shit for pennies our whole life. So when they come, they can't take that shit, man. They can't take the woman being out here, you know what I'm saying, doing what our women been doing for all this time. They can't take their children being out of fucking control. They can't take, see, before they had it all under control. But see, those laws that they came up with, their little thing that they was trying to destroy us with, it actually backfired on them. And that's what really happened to the so-called white man. That's the reason why they're going through what they're going through right now. It backfired on them. Let's get that back again. It says, while the study couldn't definitely ascertain the reasons behind the escalating despair levels among white individuals, potential factors such as the loss of well-compensated blue-collar jobs, why? Because they used to have all the good-ass jobs, perceived declines in social status, they're not who they used to be, they don't know what to do. No one's paying attention to them, no one respects them anymore. It says reduced engagement in religious activities, of course. You already know white Jesus not doing it no more for them. White Jesus is, they don't understand that their people used the scriptures and the Bible and gave the world white Jesus when it wasn't true. The scriptures are true, but not white Jesus. You see? And this man's, the way that he runs things, it has run this world clearly into the ground. See, Esau, he used the Bible just enough to get the people, under control. He never believed in the Bible. He just used it to get the people under control. Once he got the people under control, he was like, shit, fuck that, man. Let them ride. Let them do what they want to do. You know, we're gonna give you, you know, A B C D E F G, the alphabet people. We're gonna give you, you know what I'm saying, your 13-year-old, your 8-year-old can get these blockers of the puberty. You know, all these different things, man. You got a damn drugstore on every corner, you know? You got pharmaceutical companies that's just like producing stuff that they're actually producing shit that people get addicted to, and producing something that you can get unaddicted to, so you addicted to both of them. Not to mention, you know what I'm saying, the guns, the school shootings, all these different things that they're involved in, man. They can't handle it. Okay, it says let me go back. Let me get that back again. It says potential factors such as the loss of well-compensated blue-collar jobs, perceived declines in social status, reduced engagement in religious activities, and diminishing marriage rates were posited. See, their marriages are not like what it used to be. You look at some old school TV shows, man, and you see some of those TV shows, you be like, God damn, boy, they fell all bad. White picket fence, apple pie in the windowsill, still hot and steaming. The man get off from work, you know what I'm saying? He's got on his suit and tie with his briefcase. He's hopping out of the car. The woman, she's been at home all day, homemaking. She's been sewing. She's been doing all these different things to keep the house is tidy as shit. Ain't no dust in the house. The windows are all clean. You know what I'm saying? Everything is spectacular. But they done went from that to can't even afford rent no more. These people can't even afford an apartment, man. They living out of tents. They living out of RVs. They living out of a damn car in a Walmart parking lot. So, hey, I mean, it is what it is, man. And really, in reality, they're reaping what they've sown. It says the research indicated that the impact of psychological distress disproportionately burdened white Americans. Look at that there. Ooh. Let's get this real quick, though. Let me get this. A couple of scriptures come to mind. I don't want to keep this long. I seen this article, and I'm like, wow, But I mean, hey, this is what we pray for, though. We pray for the downfall of our enemies. And somebody might say, well, oh, that's so, you know, that's why would you do that? We pray for the downfall of America. We're not rooting for America. If you rooting for America as a so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American in these days, 2024, you a damn fool. You should be praying every single day that this place fall. For real. Galatians 6 and 7. It says, be not deceived. God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. And what has the so-called white man done as far as sowing? He sowed nothing but destruction upon the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have been downtrodden for hundreds of years in this place. So now everything that he tried to do to destroy us is coming back to bite his ass. And he's reaping what he's sown. And let me show you that he's getting it as a nation, because the Lord, he deals with nations of people too. Job 34 and 29, one of my favorites to go along with that, Galatians 6 and 7, because you reap what you sow. They're not getting away with the shit that they've done to us, and it's only going to get worse for them. Job 34 and 29, it says, when he giveth quietness, and this is talking about the Father, Yahweh, which the world ignorantly calls, you know, these different names, you know, but the true name of the Father, the God in heaven that created heavens and earth, you know, the heaven and earth, that is the ultimate being of the universe. His name is Yahweh, which means that he exists with the existing one. And this is talking about him. It says, when he giveth quietness, who then can make trouble? And when he hideth his face, who then can behold him? Whether it be done against a nation or against a man only. So the point that I wanted to get is that the Lord, he deals with nations of people, and he deals with the individual men of those nations. So he dealt with us as a nation, and now he's dealing with our enemies as a nation of people. And the main enemy that the Lord is dealing with is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, right off. Now he's going to deal with these. He's dealing with these other nations too. Don't get me wrong. Because when you go into the book of Psalms, chapter 83, it gives you a whole list of the enemies of the Lord. And that list of enemies, so-called whites, Japanese, Chinese, Arabs, Africans, all those people are listed off in Psalms 83 as being coming together as a confederate and coming up against the Lord and his people, which are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And again, they have to pay for it. But Esau, see, the so-called white man, he's doing the worst, because guess what? He put out the most bullshit on us, man. Okay, so, and this is in the AGMC. Let's get a little more. And look at these numbers here. 114%. Increases of 44%. That's 144, man. Hey. All praises to Yahweh Shem Shai. It says, for instance, a model for the period between 1997 and 2002 exhibited severe distress associated with a staggering 114% increase in mortality among white individuals. God damn. Far surpassing the respective increases of 44% and 51% observed among those who were black and Hispanic. That's Southern and Northern Kingdom of Israel again. Judah and Israel, man. We're going to be put back together, though. We're going to just be Israel when the Lord comes, though. These findings shed light on the differential susceptibility to despair across racial and ethnic lines in the U.S., prompting further investigation into the underlying mechanisms driving these disparities and the development of targeted interventions to address them. See, this is just like, the situation with the overdoses and all this stuff. See, when our people, and I can remember the crack days, when our people was on crack, they just rounded Jake up and sent him to jail. But now all of a sudden, with the so-called white man, with the drug problems that they have vending machines with Narcan in it. They have they have centers where you can come and they'll help you shoot up or sniff cocaine, whatever you're trying to do. They'll help you do it without overdosing. And if you do overdose, they got the Narcan that can bring you back, and they calling it a medical disease or something like that. See. And this is what this basically right here is. You know what I'm saying? Because all this time, our people been going through this type of stuff. Now, all of a sudden, it's happening to them. We got to do something about it. And that's very hypocritical, man. And see, the Lord, he sees things like this. And it's not going to help them. You know what I'm saying? This shit going to only get worse for their asses. And that was pretty much the end of the... And when you go into the comments, see, Esau don't want to accept this. This person, you can clearly see that this is probably more than likely she's a damn Edomite herself. Because so-called white people, when they hear stuff like this, they don't want to hear that they're doing bad. They don't want people to know that they're doing bad. And that's why when you see coverage, when they're doing certain crimes, you don't see them on TV like that, but now what you're starting to see is you're starting to see them on TV in a light that's just like it's never been them before. They've been doing it all the time. More a hide to it, like we're gonna hide this shit. We don't want people to know that we're our kids are the ones that's shooting up the schools. We don't want people to know that our people are really the ones that's doing the most crime out here when it comes to drugs and spousal abuse and you name it. They number one in all that stuff. They just don't put it out there like that. So this person, Jessica Hood from Hope, Michigan, says, I see the person who wrote this has a mental capacity of a 2-year-old. Why? Because they're talking about you. Journalists like this are killing themselves left and right. So be careful not to write the wrong story because it could be your last story. P.S. You need to get help. I know a good psychologist. What the fuck that's got to do with the story? They giving you complete data. But they don't want to hear this, so they will leave comments like this. This person says, how do you know it's not true? Maybe it is. Who knows? Oh, well, hey, look. If they can believe that all the immigrants that's coming through the border is so-called Mexicans and whoever the hell else, you know what I'm saying? Then they can throw any story on TV and they'll believe all that. But when it comes to something about them, no, hell no. Not me. Not our people. What are you talking about? This person says, laughing my ass off, I suggest you fire your psychiatrist and check yourself into a mental hospital. See? This person says it's the Democrats' fault for all the mental illness they have caused in more than 3 years to the American people. Don't like what's going on. Did you look back at the dates that they had? These dates are not within the past 3 years. They've been doing this data for quite some time in the story. This is not just within these 3 years that Biden been there. No, man. Esau been falling off for quite some time, right? Okay, it says more than 3 years. It says don't vote for Democrats in 2024. Vote red and you won't be dead. Yeah, right. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. This person says, if you ask me, all this is fake mental illness for attention. For some reason, people think it's fashionable to be mentally ill. Hey, man. But look, I tell you what, when you look, matter of fact, I haven't done it in a while, but let me see here. Let's go into YouTube real quick. Let's go into the tube and let's pull up let's see what they're doing out here in Kensington right now. And this is one of your main examples. I ain't even had to put the whole word in. Kensington, Philadelphia zombies. Most of these people are Esau. Most of these people, look at these people. Most of these people are so-called white people. Okay. Look. Jake just walked by like one and look. Esau too. Through. Let's get another one. Let's see. And see, you see Jake out there. Hey, Jake. Hey, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they into this shit too. But not like how the so-called white man is. And see, amongst the so-called whites, it's really young, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, white girls, that you never would, see, that's the type of mentality that they think of when it comes to stuff like this. No, she's someone's daughter. She's this and that, and that's so, that's so messed up. And that's the type of shit they'll give you when they see their people. But all along, Jake been going through this for a long time, and they haven't showed that type of attention to this problem, right? Here's another one. Let's see.
DTM Earth today, we are going to tell you about a region where zombies live. Before that, watch this video for a moment. Have you seen a zombie movie? Anyone who has seen a zombie movie understands that there is not much difference between these people and zombies. This is Kensington, America's poorest city, as well as the East Coast's largest outdoor drug market for heroin. Many people call this city by the name of Zombieland. The reason is that this city is full of people who are addicted to drugs, and from poor people who don't even have a home. 90% of them get addicted to drugs over time.
Man, look, most of these so-called white people, these young so-called white girls and boys that you seeing, man, they parents rich. I seen one video, it was one guy, his pop's a millionaire, and he just keep trying to get him to come home. You see? So, and this is just, just one video. You know what I'm saying? This is just some shorts. But look, these are so-called white women that's out here. And you can clearly see they're not bad-looking white chicks until they get really, really gone out here. And they don't want to go home. There's people out here trying to get them to come to the house. No, they ain't trying to go home, man. They don't want nothing to do with the house. But let me get this too, though, because this is what came to mind. Because if they can't handle regular life, like losing a job, or can't handle the fact that, okay, the blue-collar jobs are not out here like they used to have them, or you got even millionaires amongst them, man, that's jumping off damn buildings. You see? But just think when this comes along. Revelations 13. And this is, we've gone through a real hardcore captivity in this place. We're still in slavery to this very day. But what do? The Lord gave us the spirit to get the hell up. Go to work. Get what money we can. Make the best of this captivity that we're in. And hey, have a drink on the weekend. Shit. Go have some loving with your spouse if you can to release some stress. Esau not like that. He not built that way. Revelations 13:9, it says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. Which means you got understanding. You check it out. Verse 10. Now just think if they was going through this. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. They're not even going into captivity. They haven't even went into captivity yet. And they're going. So just think when they go into captivity and have you ever seen the worst slave movie you've ever seen? You can't even imagine. Because even those slave movies that we've all seen, from Roots to whatever the case may be, Mandingo, any of these movies, none of that shit can compare to what they've really done to us. It just gives us a little bit of insight into what happened to us. So just imagine when they go into slavery or into captivity, because they're gonna reap what they've sown. They're gonna go into captivity. So just think when they go into captivity, and none of them. That goes from their billionaires, their trillionaires, the elite of them, all the way on down. All of them are going to be in hardcore slavery. They're not going to be in control of anything. They're really going to lose it. And guess what? We're gonna keep them alive to endure it. And if they get out of hand, we'll make some examples. But hey, it is what it is. It says that he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. Can you imagine that sun beaming down on the asses for, how long did they work, Grandma Man, now? They worked our grandmothers and our grandfathers from what, 3 in the morning to maybe 10, 11, 12 at night. Our grandfathers and grandmothers was only getting like 2 hours to 3 hours of sleep per day. Getting back up, being whipped to the bone, worked to the bone. In between, getting raped, buck raped, hung, all types of mental distress. Are you serious? These motherfuckers lose a job and they come home, kick the dog, smack the wife, grab the gun, delete everybody, and then, come on, bro. So they're not going to be able to handle this double time that's going to come to them. Matter of fact, let's get, I'll end out here. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Revelation 18:6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled to her double. So we ain't even talking about what we went through, but double of that shit. Whoo, man. Look. That's why the apostle always said there's no amount of money in the world you can give me to be an Edomite. Last thing you want to be when the Lord comes as a so-called white man or woman or child. Because it's not going to be pretty for you. And the rest of you nations too. The rest of y'all going to get it too. But Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, you've been the main culprit in the suffering of the children of Israel. So you're going to pay the most. This right here is just a walk in the park. This is nothing. This shit is nothing. Compared to what's about to come to y'all. You're not going to be able to take one. I can't even imagine it. Your first week of work is you're all going to want to delete yourselves. And you're not going to be able to. Straight up. So I'm going to end out there. I pray that this lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala.